Tony Allen. He made playing defense culturally contagious everywhere he went. In a league where everybody wants to be the hero with The Rock, Tony Allen became a legend by taking it away.
For whatever reason, they have no punch to start the game. 13 points in game 1, or 14 points in game 1, 13 in game 2, and struggling here out of the gate to put points on the board.
Another steal this time.
While most guys were out breaking ankles, Tony was busy breaking spirits. He didn't just guard superstars, he haunted them, made them see his jersey number in their sleep. Kobe called him the best defender he ever faced. KD literally tweaked his jumper to escape the clamps. And LeBron, even the king knew he was about to get Tony'd. From Boston's title grind to Memphis's grit and grind legacy, this is the story of a Grindfather, the man who made clamps a culture. Before Anthony Allen ever locked up All-Stars, he had to survive the west side of Chicago. Born in one of America's toughest neighborhoods, he didn't grow up with silver spoons, just sirens, cracked pavement, and a daily fight to stay focused. And that edge never left him. For Tony, hoops wasn't a game, it was a get-out plan. But even then, he was a prodigy. No mixtapes, no 5-star, no hype. He grinded junior college in Oklahoma, then Oklahoma State.
When he transferred and went to Wabash, I was recruiting his teammate. And, his teammate was highly recruited, and Tony was just another player until I had the opportunity to see him play in person. And once I saw the tenacity in which he played, he was the guy from day one.
It was there under Eddie Sutton that Tony became a two-way terror. No wasted movement, just lockdown instincts and relentless hustle. He led OSU to the Final Four in 2004, and suddenly GMs were paying attention. Boston grabbed him 25th overall in 2004, thinking they got a solid role player. What they actually got? A defensive culture in human form, a dog who happened to play basketball. However, transitioning from college star to NBA role player wasn't immediate or easy. As a rookie in the 2004-05 season, Tony averaged 6.4 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 0.99 steals in 16.4 minutes, respectable numbers for a late first-round pick. But the college scoring machine quickly realized something. His jump shot wasn't going to pay the bills at basketball's highest level. Then came the light bulb moment that changed everything. If I can't score, I'll make sure you can't either. This mindset shift transformed Allen from a tweener trying to find his offensive identity into a defensive specialist who would terrorize opposing guards for the next decade and a half.
I feel like you're the best defender that I played against in my career.
Man, appreciate that, bro.
And
by 2007, when the Big Three assembled in Boston, Tony had already earned his reputation. The guy who'd fight through screens like they personally disrespected his mother. When the 2008 finals rolled around, guess who got the Kobe assignment that would have intimidated most players? Tony. But he thrived under the pressure, using his quickness and tenacity to disrupt the Lakers' offensive flow. His defensive intensity became contagious throughout the roster. When teammates saw Allen diving for loose balls and taking charges against superstars, they had no choice but to match that energy. The championship validated everything. Defense wasn't just about stopping buckets, it was about winning titles. Here's what most people don't know. During that 2008 finals, Tony actually dislocated his thumb in Game 2, but played through it, refusing to let trainers pop it back in place until after games. That's the kind of psychotic dedication we're talking about. When 2010 came around and the Celtics made another run to the finals, Tony's role was carved in granite. He only averaged 6.1 points, 2.7 rebounds, and a steal per game in 16 minutes of action. But Tony wasn't built for the box score. He was built to swing momentum. You don't measure guys like that in stats. You measure them in headaches caused and game plans ruined. In the 2010 finals rematch against the Lakers, Allen showcased the defensive mentality that would make him legendary. He didn't just guard players, he made it personal. Every assignment was a challenge to his pride, whether it was Kobe, Fisher, or whoever the Lakers threw at him. Tony approached each matchup like his reputation depended on it, because in his mind, it did. The matchup became legendary for one specific moment. Tony stripped Kobe so clean in Game 6 that Kobe actually nodded at him in respect. When the Black Mamba gives you props mid-game, you know you've arrived. The Celtics lost in Game 7, but Tony walked out of that series with his name in neon on every scout's whiteboard, a reputation that would eventually earn him the nickname the Grindfather. But by 2010, something was shifting. Tony Allen had done his job in Boston. 2 finals runs, 1 championship ring, and a reputation no one wanted to see on the opposing scouting report. But his minutes were shrinking. Younger wings were getting opportunities. The Celtics didn't make re-signing him a priority. So, in July 2010, Tony signed a 3-year deal with Memphis, a team with no banners, no spotlight, and no real national profile. From the outside, it looked like a quiet free agency move. They had no idea they'd just signed a cultural revolution. When he landed in Memphis, it wasn't just a change of scenery. It was destiny calling collect. The Grizzlies had the pieces, Marc Gasol anchoring the paint, Z-Bo rebounding everything in sight, but they needed someone to set the defensive tone on the perimeter. So, Tony Allen arrived as the final ingredient in what would become basketball's most beautiful defensive formula. Unlike Boston, where he was surrounded by established superstars, in Memphis, he became the culture. And on February 8, 2011, against Oklahoma City, everything clicked. Tony dropped 27, swiped 5, swatted free, and made Kevin Durant question his life choices. After the game, Durant was asked about Tony's defense and said, "That dude is crazy," in a good way. Coming from KD, that was basically a PhD in respect. In the post-game interview, almost as an afterthought, Tony said it's all heart, grit, grind. What he didn't know was that phrase would become Memphis' team identity and define an entire era of basketball. No boardroom, no brand consultant, just hardwood, sweat, and bad intentions. Tony hounding the league's best scorers, Z-Bo throwing elbows in the post, Marc Gasol anchoring the paint like a 7-foot fortress, and Mike Conley steady at the wheel. Suddenly, Memphis had a soul, and Tony Allen was its heartbeat. His defensive philosophy became absolutely contagious. Every possession matters, every player matters, and defense could be just as entertaining as any post or dunk. Before games, Allen would stare down his assignment during warm-ups, creating psychological warfare before the ball was even tipped. The stare down became legendary. Players started talking about it. Russell Westbrook once said, "Tony's pregame death stare was scarier than my triple-double face." He transformed FedEx Forum into the Grindhouse, where fans came not just to see buckets, but to witness defensive poetry in motion. Tony Allen's individual accolades during this period spoke to his defensive dominance. He was named to the NBA All-Defensive Team 6 out of 7 times from 2011 to 2017. But his impact transcended personal honors. He was changing how teams approach their offensive game plans. James Harden admitted he used to practice extra stepbacks specifically for Tony Allen matchups. Damian Lillard said facing Tony was like playing basketball in a phone booth with a Wolverine. During the 2013 playoffs, Memphis' magical run to the Western Conference Finals, Tony averaged 10.3 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 2.0 steals in 28.1 minutes across 15 games, helping Memphis reach the Western Conference Finals for the first time in franchise history. But the real Tony Allen stat, he made superstars look ordinary. In playoff series where he guarded the opposing team's best scorer, that player shot 4.2% worse from the field than their season average. That's not just good defense, that's psychological warfare. By the time he hung up his sneakers, the impact was undeniable. Memphis didn't just remember him, they immortalized him. In 2025, the Grizzlies raised his number 9 jersey to the rafters, right where it belonged, above the hardwood he bled on, fought on, and transformed. Allen joined Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol as the third Grizzlies players to have their jersey retired. But what made that moment historic wasn't the banner, it was what got him there. No scoring titles, no signature shoe, just a role player who turned defense into a movement. He didn't reinvent the game, he just refused to be average at the part he owned. The jersey retirement speech, Tony kept it simple. I just wanted to make sure y'all couldn't score. Mission accomplished. That's the blueprint right there. Not everyone's gonna be the star, but if you know who you are and you go all in on it, you can still change the game. Tony Allen proved that sometimes the most important player on the court is the one taking shots away, not making them. If this breakdown got you hyped, smash that like button, subscribe for more NBA stories that go beyond the highlights, and drop a comment. Which player's journey should we dive into next? Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.